Blind Date, production number 91195, part 1, take 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Blind Date, and here is your host, Miss Cilla Black.
Hello again and welcome to Blind Date. And you know, since last week's show, I've had a letter from Gwen of Chiswick. And here it is. It says, by sheer magic. Dear Cilla, I felt ever so sorry for you after the show because you'd stood there for 45 minutes and you weren't even picked once. Well, it's just as well, really, because Bobby would have marmalised me. Anyway, on with the show, and just like last week, we start with a girl who's going to have her choice of these three lovely fellas. So let's meet them. Now, you are number one.
Yep.
Would you like to tell everybody out there your name and where you come from, please?
My name's Ted Maybank, and I come from Brighton.
Oh, oh, Teddy. Are you ready, Teddy? You come from Brighton?
Yep.
What do you do for a living?
I used to play football, really, and I've had to retire, so I don't play anymore. So.
What do you mean you had to retire?
Bad knee.
Oh, the bad knee.
The bad knee syndrome.
Well, what you do now?
No, I don't at the moment, really.
No, I mean, what do you do now instead of football?
Well, I suppose golf and squash, you know.
And that doesn't affect the bad knee?
No.
Oh, well, I wish you luck for tonight's show,
Thank
Ted.
you very much, too.
What about you, number two? What's your name and where do you come from?
Well, my name is David Barham and I come from Keston in Kent.
Oh, you do? We've got a lot of oohs in the audience tonight, haven't we? Ooh, and what do you do for a living?
I'm a computer operator.
What do you look for in your ideal girl?
Good figure, nice personality, lots of money.
You've got a hope on this show. What about you, number three? What's your name and where do you come from?
My name's Robert Jones and I come from Worcester.
I love your sauce. Now, you look totally different from these two, don't you? I mean, you just look as if, you know, you've walked out of a wardrobe. He does. He looks like a bank manager, doesn't he? Yes, you do. What do you do for a living? Did I ask you?
Believe it or not, I sell cars.
Would you buy a car from this man? All them said yes and all of them said no. Well, I know you're going to have a lot of fun on tonight's show and the best of luck to three of you, all right? See you in a moment. Fellas, now let's meet the girl who's going to choose one of them, and she is Claire Middleton from Middlesbrough. Now, Claire, you come from Middlesbrough.
That's right, yes. I'm a northerner like you are.
A northerner through and through.
Absolutely, yes.
What do you do for a living, love?
I work for a company that I don't mention, but I'm an assistant product manager on dairy products.
Now, Claire, tell us about your hobbies. What do you do in your spare time when you're not looking for blind dates?
Well, fairly simple things. I like doing things like parachuting, shooting machine guns, driving tanks. Just, you know, the average sort of thing.
Oh, you don't pick the one with the dodgy knee. I don't think you should be on this show. You've got no Rambos if you're on this show, you know.
Oh, well, I was told I must be on the wrong programme then. I was...
Nah, they've all got terrific personalities, Claire, even though they have got dodgy knees. So you've got 3 questions to ask, you know,
I have, yes.
And from their replies, from those fellas behind the screens, you've got to make your choice and pick one of them to take with you on your blind date.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready to go, girl?
Absolutely.
All right, fire away with your first question.
Here goes. Despite sort of having a fairly active life like driving tanks, I'm also quite artistic. I want to know if you've got artistic leanings. What's the most artistic, creative thing you've ever done? And I'll ask number 1 to start with.
Number 1, take your time. What's the most creative, artistic thing you've ever done?
Well, some people used to say I was quite artistic playing football, but nowadays, I just help my friends out painting squash courts. That's about as artistic as I
Are you any good at decorating flats?
do. Well, I could be.
Nice, nice.
Right, number 2, what's the most creative thing that you've ever done?
Well, I sometimes like to go ballroom dancing with my pet greyhound.
Ballroom dancing with a greyhound.
How do you do that?
Well, I go out wearing a dinner jacket and she wears a number 6 jacket.
Right, I think I'll move on to number 3.
Nothing really artistic, but I do like the theatre. And then perhaps dinner for 2.
Oh, that's nice.
And then perhaps even forget the theatre.
That sounds very
I'll ask
interesting.
what he's got in mind. Right, question number 2. I need somebody that's sort of fairly protective. Would you be prepared to fight for me? And if you did, would you be any good at it? Number 3.
I'll certainly be prepared to fight for you, I'm sure. And I'm 6'2", 14 stone, so unless you're 6'3" and 15 stone, I'm going with it.
Oh, that sounds promising. Right, number 2, would you be prepared to fight for me?
Well, depends if you're prepared to come and visit me in hospital. But,
Yeah,
joking aside, if I say to have a fight with these 2 here, don't worry, I'll handle them just like that, so...
Right, well, number 1, how are you going to beat that?
I'm not. Well, first of all, I'd give you a hand willingly. And as for how good, I mean, it's only how good he is how good I am, you know. I mean, if he's better than me, I wouldn't be too good.
OK, well, I'll move on to question number 3. You're going to love this one. Right, tell me something about yourself in not more than 3 words. Number 1.
I think I'd just say wait and see, really.
OK, number 2. What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
Ready, willing, able. Very able.
Ready for what? No,
I've just had a look at him. He might be ready and willing, but I don't think he's able. No, only joking, only joking.
OK, number 3. What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
I am supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Very difficult. You've asked all 3 questions,
really.
haven't you?
It is, yes.
And you know now it's decision time.
Right.
Now, will you choose number 1, who paints squash courts? Or number 2, who dances with his pet greyhound? Or maybe it'll be number 3, who describes himself as supercalifragilistic and all the rest of it. The decision is yours.
lot of fun, don't they, love?
They do, yes.
Who are you going to go for, then?
I think it's got to be number one.
Number one. That's a very popular decision. Very popular decision. See, they've all got taste out there. They have. Not my taste, but they've got taste out there. Actually, you really picked a good choice. But before we say hello to your blind date, why don't we say hello to the ones you're going to kiss goodbye to? First of all, you turned down number 2, and that was David Barnum of Keston in Kent. Come in, David. He's from the Greyhound. I didn't mean right there. And you also turned down Rob Jones, that was number 3, and he's from Worcester. Come in, Rob. There he is. Oh, can I borrow £1,000? Thanks a lot, Rob. But this is it, Claire.
Yeah, big moment.
Oh, yes, the big moment has arrived. Oh, I don't know how to put this. He's the one with the dodgy knees. And of course, you chose number 1, and that was Ted Maybank from Brighton.
Very nice, yes.
Yeah. You used to be a footballer, didn't you?
I used to be, yeah.
Yes, but he doesn't do it anymore.
I do it, but I'm not...
Football, yes. What do you think of her, Ted?
Not too happy with the tank driving, but the rest, I mean...
But she looks super. I mean,
Looks
she doesn't
super.
look as if, you know, she'd be that butch.
No.
And you're gonna... Which one of you are going to pick? I think Claire's going to pick... Yes, because she picked you. So
Right.
pick where you're going to go on your blind date.
Okay.
And everybody at home, and indeed in the studio here, we're all dying to hear what
Do
you've
I read
chosen.
it in reverse order like the two as well?
No, you've only got one chance.
Oh,
What does
right.
it say?
A visit to Ireland to kiss the Blarney Stone.
Oh. Not bad. You've never been to Ireland? You've never been to Ireland? Well, I tell you what, Claire and Ted, that's one kiss you're going to be guaranteed on your blind date.
Yep.
And you told me that you've never been to Ireland.
No, never, no.
What about you, Claire? Have you ever kissed the Blarney Stone?
I haven't, no.
But will you come back and tell us all about it?
certainly will.
Because I expect you to come back with that big red book saying, this is your life. All right?
Right.
We'll see both Ted and Claire next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen? See you next week. We'll be seeing Claire and Ted next week, but now, remember in the show last week, Jan chose Tony and their date was a day out canoeing. No, not canoodling. Canoeing on the River Wye. So let's see what they got up to. Certainly looked good fun, but now let's find out what they really thought of each other.
When the screen went back, I was quite pleased and relieved that she was an attractive young girl. She's got some of the features I quite like. She's blonde, blue eyes, and everything seems to be in pretty good keeping.
He looked really nice. He wasn't Rod Stewart, but then we can't have it all, can we?
The date itself didn't start particularly well.
I was late and we missed the train, which Tony didn't seem to mind too much. He did take the mickey a little bit because typical woman being late.
It's bad enough being stood up on a blind date anyway, but being stood up on a blind date in front of 10 million people, it's got to be bad news.
When we arrived, we went and had lunch first of all which was a lovely lunch, apart from the fact that Tony had these horrible, great big prawns that he sat peeling the heads and the tails off. That made me feel really sick.
It was over lunch that I realised one of the things I didn't like about Jan, and that's that she smoked, and just got a problem with girls that smoke.
When he had to get in the canoe, he had shorts on underneath, so I pulled his jeans off for him, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
He ended up rolling around in the mud, having great fun.
When he actually came out of the water, I felt after laughing at him, I felt quite sorry for him because he looked like a drowned rat. He was so cold and shivering.
And Jan helped me rub down, so she took my top off and rubbed me briskly with a nice warm towel.
He seemed to enjoy that quite well.
Overall, she's a pretty attractive girl. I think we have some things in common that I think we're both fairly full of life, and we enjoyed the day together.
Tony was a really nice fella. He had a very good sense of humour. I spent most of the day laughing at him, and he didn't seem to mind whatsoever. He took it all in good heart.
And I think we'll probably remain reasonably good friends.
Reasonably good friends. What does that mean?
I think after seeing that, we could be very good friends.
So you think you'll see each other in the future?
He can answer that one.
I think we'll definitely send Christmas cards to each other.
Well, we think you've been terrific sports on Blind Date. Thanks a lot for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony and Jack. But join us in part 2 when we'll be meeting our other couple from last week, Paul and Martin. And some lucky man is going to make a choice between these 3 lovely girls. See you in a minute.
This is Blind Date production number 91195, part 2, take 1.
And it's a man's world, so let's go and meet the girls who are going to join him in it. And there they are, aren't they, lovely fellas? Sound like a herd of cows out there. Well, come on, number 1. Say hello to everybody at home and tell them where you come from.
My name's Lisa Hepburn and I come from Woking in Berkshire.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Yes. And what do you do for a living, Lisa?
I'm a computer operator.
Yes, look at me when I'm talking to you, Lisa. You're a computer operator. Oh, you've got to be very clever to do that, haven't you?
No, you haven't. No.
Well, don't you have to have O-levels and thingies like that?
No, of course no. Just press buttons all day.
Luck for tonight's show. What about you, number 2? What's your name and where do you come from?
I'm Claire Montgomery and I come from Biggin Hill in Kent.
Oh. I love the way you're rocking on your chair. Who's your ideal man? Val Doonican? He's rocking in that chair.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice.
No, I like Richard Gere myself.
Well, I can't promise you any Richard Gere's on these shows. What about you, number 3? What's your name and where do you come from?
My name's Colette Sarson and I live in Wallasey on the Wirral.
OK.
The Wirral.
Live at Wallasey, that's over the water.
Over the water.
Where do you work, Colette?
Liverpool.
In Liverpool, OK. And what does a typical Liverpool lass look for, a, you know, in a fella?
Oh, can I really tell you? No, personality and a good sense of humour. A real good sense of humour.
Well, you need one on this show. Well, lots of luck to all 3 of you. And may the best girl win. I'll see you all in a mo, all right? Well, there you are. Those are our girls. So let's meet the fella who's going to choose one of them. And he is Patrick Chapman, and he's from Nottingham. Come in, Patrick. See, Patrick, what a welcome. Yes. And you come from Nottingham?
I do.
Yeah. I know what they're trying to do. Those girls are trying to peek back there. You'll have to wait a moment, Colette. Tell everybody what you do for a living.
Right, I'm an assistant to a buyer on homebrew beer.
Do you ever brew your own beer?
I've just started, actually, yes, I've just started.
How's it going?
It's not bad, it's palatable.
I mean, can you get paralytic on it?
You have to try some.
No, I don't drink beer. I'm a champagne lady.
Well, there's this one.
Now, listen, Patrick, you've got 3 questions to ask those lovely ladies beyond the screens there, and you know the rules. From their replies, you have got to make that big decision and choose one of them to take on your blind date.
Right. Now, I'm afraid I've got a bit of a quick temper. What I'd like to know is how they would actually start calming me down if I was really furious. Number one, how would you calm me down?
First of all, I'd phone your mother and ask her if I could give you a good spanking.
Good reply.
It's rather tempting, too, yeah. Number 2, same question.
I'd say, calm down, darling. Things can't really be that bad. Come and sit down and relax. Let me massage the tension away from your neck.
That was number 2.
Right. I'm all flustered now. Number 3, same question.
Right. I think I'd have to make him laugh, so I'd tickle him. I'd tickle him until I actually got a laugh out of him. And if he didn't laugh, I'd just throw a bucket of water over his head.
OK, fine. Second question, then. Number 2, if all your friends disapproved of the person you're actually crazy about, would you drop him?
Well...
From what height?
My friends and myself, we've all got extremely good tastes in men, so I'm sure we wouldn't row over something as trivial as a man.
Woman's lip coming out.
Right. I'll skip that one, yeah. Number 1, same question.
If you were really that gorgeous, I'd never, ever introduce you to my friends.
Very romantic. Yes.
Number 3.
I never leave my men alone. I mean, I would never give him up for anything.
Oh, it's a heavy decision to make, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't it?
OK. Right, final question, then. I've got a bit of interest in advertising. Now, if you were writing an advertisement for yourself, what sort of slogan would you come up with?
Who are you going to ask that to?
Number 3.
Think of a slogan.
Ooh,
Come on,
right.
girl.
OK. Delectable, collectible, Colette.
Number 2, what would your slogan be?
Oh, I can think of 2 here.
That was the one who wanted to massage your neck.
Yeah, well...
This is a government health warning. Claire Montgomery can seriously improve your love life.
Number 1, what would your slogan be?
From the people who bought you, Catherine Hepburn, and Audrey Hepburn, the latest model in the range, Lisa Hepburn, you can trust the name.
Yeah. I know you want to go ask them all questions all night.
I've tried.
It's decision time.
Will it be number 1, who'd ring your mother to find out how to cure your temper? Or number 2, who wouldn't argue with her friends about you? Or will it be number 3, who'd throw a bucket of water over you? The decision is yours.
The decision is certainly yours, love.
All
Have you
right.
made your mind up?
Well, I don't fancy a bucket of water over me, so number 3, I'm afraid... No, sorry.
Ah.
Number two, a little bit OTT, I think, actually.
OTT. She's the one who wanted to massage your neck.
Well, yes, but I think the rest of it was a little bit OTT.
OTT.
So I think that leaves number 1, who sounded very nice indeed.
Number 1. You turned down, first of all, number 2, and that was Claire Montgomery, and she was from Kent. Come in, Claire. And you also turned down number 3, and that was Colette. Oh, Colette from Wallasey up there. Colette Starr. Ah, but the big moment has arrived, Patrick. You know, get your shoulders back because you're in for a treat.
You reckon?
You certainly are. She's got to be pulling faces behind there. You chose for your blind date this evening, number 1, Lisa Hepburn from Berks. Come on, Lisa. Lisa, he said he's happy. You've got no choice. But what you have got a choice of is picking one of these cards to tell you where you're going on your blind date. Now, do you want Lisa to do that?
Ladies first, ladies.
Yes, well, there's only one go. Ladies first.
Ladies last then as well.
There you go. Tell us where you're all going to spend your blind date.
A tea dance at the Waldorf.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good.
Your face, did you see her face, Patrick?
I did, mine lit up.
She went all glee, waffle glee. A tea dance at the Waldorf. But will you come back next week and tell us all about how you got on?
Yeah.
We will.
Oh, please. I look forward to that. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick and Lisa. They're off to a tea dance. Well, now, as I said before the break, our other couple from last week were Paul and Martine, and their date was a day out in Holland. So let's see what happened to them. By that, but now we're going to go over and see what you really thought about each other.
We arrived early in the morning at Gatwick Airport for a departure. In fact, Martina had arrived earlier. I suppose she was just desperate to be with me.
We arrived at 7:30 on time, and he was dressed sort of very, very suitably for a day out in Amsterdam. He'd gotten casual trousers and a jumper, so that was fine.
We went off to the coffee lounge, and as they say, got to know each other. We were getting on quite well, I thought. In fact, we were getting on so well that we almost missed the plane. The plane did depart without us. It did, no.
So we sat down, the plane took off, and then Paul proceeded to read his newspaper all the way to Amsterdam. And there wasn't really a lot to read on the plane other than sort of the sick bag and the safety instructions. So I ended up looking out the window.
She found the idea of looking at the cloud formations outside the wing of the plane rather more interesting than any conversation I might have to offer.
We arrived at Amsterdam, and we got a cab from the airport into the city. We went for a coffee. Now, it was a very interesting little coffee house because on the menu up on the wall, they had something called slag room.
The first Dutch thing we discovered was something called a slag board or a slag heap.
And that was a coffee with whipped cream on top, but there was only a little bit of coffee and there was a hell of a lot of whipped cream. And, of course, Paul ended up with cream all over his face and got very silly, and there was generally quite a bit of cream being chucked around.
Then we were off to set off around the city in this wonderful boat. It was a glass-bottomed boat. No, it wasn't. It was a glass-topped boat.
So, after the canal trip, we got to taxi to a little place called Vollenberg, which is like a little Dutch village thing out in the country, and we went for lunch. Now, lunch was lovely, and Paul was very good there. He was very good at ordering the drinks and ordering the meal and that sort of thing. So, on that sort of side, super.
It was during the lunch, of course, that I began to feel more and more fond of Martine, and ever the romantic, I felt that she could be improved, but only in one marginal aspect, and that was her name.
I can't decide whether he just thought I looked like a Simone and therefore should have been one. But I just started to get my own back and started calling him Wally, which he wasn't too pleased about.
And it added a rather, I think, a romantic element to what was fast becoming a most successful and exciting and amorous day.
So we had to do a quick dash to his cheese factory, where we sort of tasted all these strange sorts of cheeses with sort of stinging nettles and that sort of stuff in it.
It was all very technical and of great interest to know, but of no interest to me whatsoever. I just sat there and ate it, and talked to people and tried to speak Dutch, but didn't really speak Dutch at all.
Paul slept in his taxi all the way back to the airport. The only time he woke up was when we got to the airport and got anywhere near the duty-frees, but he certainly became alive then and managed to sort of buy more than his quota.
And we had rather a nice flight, actually. Simone had this sort of funny tendency to sit next to a window again. I really couldn't explain it away.
There was one of these planes where the stewardesses come and sit with the people during takeoff and that. And he started giving chat-up lines to this sort of pretty little stewardess.
She got a fantastic schedule. She was going to Madrid the next day. She ordered a schedule for the whole month in advance, and I wasn't on it. I was very disappointed by that.
The best thing about Paul was he was very well organised at sort of getting places and coping in a foreign city, and very sort of good over lunch and that, sort of very slick about what he was doing. Probably a bit too smooth for me, really.
Maybe a bit taller for perfection, I think, but I think that the very fact that she was prepared to spend a day with me was an endearing quality, and one which I would highly recommend in other women.
Oh, my goodness me. I don't know what to say. I mean, why do you keep on calling her Simone? Her name's Martine. She said it's Martine.
I couldn't really remember the name Martine, so I had to invent one I could remember, so...
Well, who's Simone? Do you know any Simone?
That's what I wanted to know who Simone was, but, you know.
Don't you think she looks like a Simone?
No.
Yeah, she looks like a Martine.
Thank you.
Fine.
But you look like a Wally.
I'm not quite sure whether I should give you this cheese now. So
Is that what you brought back
yeah,
for me
brought
from
back
Holland?
some souvenirs.
Well, oh gosh, it's a week old then, isn't it?
Yeah, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. Gets better with age, so don't worry.
And what about those clogs I bought you then, Martine?
Paul bought them for me.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Romantic,
yes. And will you be seeing each other again, Paul?
I hope so, yes. I think we should have anniversary trips to Amsterdam. Well, Well, she was a pushy sort of woman, so I guess she'll be paying sometimes.
What about you, Martine?
Well, he's not really my
Well, look,
sort.
you're moving it. No.
You didn't have to spend a whole day with him.
Oh, look at his face.
Seems like there are going to be no anniversary trips now, so...
No, not unless you pay for them, Martine.
Which is a bit unlikely.
Well, we all thought Paul was terrific, didn't we, ladies and gentlemen? And we thought Martine was too. And if you ever go on an anniversary trip, will you take me with you?
You can go instead of me if you want.
I'm happy with that, sort of.
Oh, isn't that lovely? Ladies and gentlemen, Paul and Simone. Over there. Well, that's all we've got time for this week, but please join us next week when Claire and Ted and Patrick and Lisa will be back to tell us all how they got on. See you then. Ta-ra!